On the NFL QB radar, there's Aaron Rodgers, who I believe has completed every pass he's thrown this year. Tom Brady, who's making 2 second-year tight ends seem like the second coming of Tony Gonzalez. And Tim Tebow, who's, well, being Tim Tebow. And flying just under the radar, if former Super Bowl MVPs can do that, is Drew Brees, who coming into Week 12 was still leading the NFL in passing yardage, still leading the Saints to first place in the NFC South, and still the leading man in a city that identifies with its team more than any NFL hometown. Here's Mr. New Orleans with Jon Gruden in the Sunday Conversation.
I watch you in pregame, Drew, and I've seen you do this in group install periods in practice. I see you throw a pass. I have the high-speed slow-mo on HD so you can check it out. I see you throw a pass, and then I see you reset. Watch this. And you're going to go through every one of your progressions. There's Colston. Boom, now you're going to go over here and find your fullback. Look at you pointing at these guys. But I see you do this every play during practice, before games. Why do you do this?
That's constantly working the progression in my head. Just understanding that, hey, I'm throwing the #1 progression in practice, but I got to work it to 2, to 3, to 4. Just knowing where my outlets are, knowing where I can get rid of the ball. That's just good habits in my mind, good habits. Your eyes before the snap. I don't think I've ever seen a guy look from the right side of the field to the left side of the field. You're seeing an awful lot before you decide what to do with the ball, aren't you? Yeah, I feel like getting as good a pre-snap read as I can really allows me to formulate my thought process for that play. And there's times where I know I'm going to throw it left, but I'm going to be looking right the entire time because that's part of, moving defenders. That's part of opening up the window that I want to throw it to. And, it's different for every play, but so much of that pre-snap, gathering information is so that I can set my thought process once that ball is snapped. I got to ask you this, Drew Brees at home on game day, world champion quarterback, MVP of the Super Bowl, squaring off against Eli Manning. He's from New Orleans. This Manning family is like the first family of football. What's it like going up against Eli in his hometown, all that stuff? I got a lot of respect for Eli, what he's been able to accomplish. Obviously, he's a Super Bowl champion. He knows how to win. That's another element to these games where if there's a quarterback like that on the other side, that even though you're not technically going up against them, it's you against their defense and vice versa. You feel like there's a competition there, and you got to match them somewhat. And obviously, when the game starts, it's all about just scoring more points than they do. But I do have a lot of respect for him. I know what they're capable of. I know what he's capable of. So we need our best.
Jon, Drew, thanks a lot. Drew Brees, if you're keeping stats. A touchdown pass in 37 straight games, second longest streak ever. Check. One of only 2 men to throw for 5,000 yards in a season. Check. At least 20 completions in 30 straight games, an NFL record. Check. I'm just saying.